recording. What up, everybody? We've got Chris, and of course, we got my good friend over here.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Paul.
And we've got the Scrubcast pod, or it's just the Scrubcast, right? The pod is just
the Scrubcast. Yeah.
Okay. Well, considering that all of our affiliated tags are with the pod in there, do we need to change it?
No, but I was researching what we should do is we should probably have Scrubcast, a video game podcast in it, because Scrubcast doesn't really tell you what the hell this is about.
I did enjoy that looking on Spotify. It was basically us and it was like John Hopkins. It was like an actual medical team.
Medical team, yep. And then there were a bunch of other ones that were like abandoned after a couple episodes. Might happen here. Baby. Who knows?
Not this one, baby.
Okay, let's see. Road to 100
So we got a ton to talk about. Where do you want to start this week, Paul? Where do we?
We can start with you. Well,
I've been a little busy around the house, but I have been trying to put a little bit more time into Hades 2. I'm in a really dangerous spot for the gaming morale.
Okay.
Where I haven't completed the runs, like enough runs to get all the unlocks, but I've unlocked a bunch of difficulty modifiers, and I'm trying to do all of that simultaneously. So I'm trying to not that great. Not great at all. It's it's tough. It's tough. You got to really lock in. Once you start putting those vows on, once you're above 20, I want to say you're playing a different game.
Is it still fun or is it just frustrating now?
It's mostly frustrating.
Okay.
It's that brick wall you hit. You hit it in every game. There's like a Souls-like game where you hit that boss and you're like, oh shit, I have to actually like learn some mechanics. I'm gonna have to really delve into this, and I don't know if I can.
Can't scrub your way through it.
I feel like I've gotten so far into the content that I don't want to learn more of it. Does that make sense? I'm struggling with the idea of committing more of my mental resource.
Right.
For what may or may not be diminishing returns. I actually have not been looking up anything on the game.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I'm still kind of playing blind. I'm still unlocking weapons. I'm getting aspects and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
You get those as I'm seeing that it's as you're like maxing out your bonds. How far have you gotten? Are you?
I've made it to the final boss on that second part of the game, the Olympus. So
yeah.
I beat him once.
Okay.
So not nearly as far as you are. I'm not in the late post game stuff.
And to be honest, I could be done with all of the content. I think, like all of the base game content, if I could just bring myself to play it on normal, level 5 Val difficulty.
Yeah.
Little horde increase. Maybe they have a little bit more health. Maybe they get like, they come from the next region. I can deal with all that.
So did you like
three single hit wards on spawn, and they have a 50% chance of respawning once they're dead. Oh, and they deal, 40% more damage, and they have 40% more health.
So did you do like the craft a potion that like permanently kills Chronos? Like you got all that stuff done?
No, I'm at those points where literally I just need to complete the game now. I don't need to do it with Val stuff on, I don't think.
Okay, got it.
But I'm purposely trying to do the Val stuff at the same time. Killing all the birds with one big giant stone.
Min-max your...
But it's becoming mostly min because I'm barely getting past the first stage in Olympus.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Serious.
Well, especially if you do like the rival boss thing and it changes the moveset and they start getting intense on you.
That's pretty cool. But is it only for the first boss of each area? No, they unlock more later?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I've done some runs with that. I've only seen it on the first bosses. I mean, it's pretty sweet. It's a nice little remix. Cool.
It is. It's more content, which makes me also kind of feel dumb for trying to min-max this stuff when there appears to be so much more. I feel like I'm near the very end of the game, but like you said, every time you turn, it's like, oh shit, there's more aspects I'm getting from forming bonds with these people. Like I'm getting a whole new weapon for doing this.
Nice.
So I think I'm letting my frustration, it's self-inflicted. So I need to make a decision on whether I'm going to frustrate myself and be done with the game or whether I want to just get all the base content done. I don't know if I'll be able to commit enough to mechanically get like the third champion of the night, I think is what I'm working on, which is a 32 Val going underground.
That's
so
a lot.
That means you're using everything. You're
that's
getting
a lot.
like all the bad stuff and then some of like all the normal bad stuff and then some like real bad stuff. Some of the dangerous ones.
Right.
And I don't like playing too gimped. That was never a fun part for me in games when they're like, okay, now that you kind of have the gist of it, let's start peeling away all the good stuff. And now let's see how good you are, with just like your base attack. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to use all my stuff and then scale the difficulty kind of up to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which they're kind of doing. I mean, all of these things are stat bonuses. I'm trying to think if there are any that actually directly affect, other than the rival things with like any move sets or anything like that.
I don't think so, right? It's like the shields, stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't even have like enemies explode when they die or like some sort of a suicide pact thing.
Right. They have their revive.
Correct, the remnant thing, which that's might be one of my least favorite ones. I never pick up those things. So I end up like fighting the same room 3 times.
Yeah.
Which, I guess it's good for learning. Builds character.
Do you still use the wands as your favorite weapon? No, that hasn't changed. Or do you do whatever the challenge requires? Because you have those like, hey, kill this boss with this weapon things, right?
Yeah, but that just changes depending on which weapon you pick. So for the run, whatever the run is, if you have the weapon that's in that slot, you have to have that many vowels, and then it's that boss. So depending on which weapon you pick, you might need to change your weapon if you need to do like an underground run or if you need to do an Olympus run. But no, I don't even worry about the resource stuff anymore, like getting the bones, picking the faded weapon, whatever they have.
Right. I mean, you're probably maxed out on most of that stuff, I would guess.
I'm decently up there. The cost kind of it'll start to narrow on you real quick. Like the nightmare stuff.
Right.
You'll need that for most of the level 3, 4, and 5 aspect upgrades.
Yep, that's what I've been doing. I've just been collecting the easy to get nightmares, the low level ones, just to upgrade some of those unlockable
I did
aspects.
find a new favorite weapon. Can you believe that it's off of the skulls, our least favorite?
Really? Which
they have a aspect on it that essentially changed it so that you're, rather than doing so on the base of it, you press square, you shoot a skull out, it kind of, goes a nominal distance from the player, and then it sits there until you press triangle, which does a dash attack and also recalls all the skulls to you.
Yep.
That entire moveset is changed. Now, if you press triangle, it throws a single homing skull that will float around and attack every enemy within a very, very large range, and then bounce back to you. So it'll like do a full circuit. And then your square is just kind of like a mini machine gun type of thing. So it's pretty scrubby, but it allows you to position pretty well. So it feels good when you're cranking up some of the difficulties, and it's tough to kind of focus on where you're doing things on screen and where the enemies are doing things on the screen. You just throw out a homing skull head, and that gets a lot of work done for you. So that's kind of been a little bit of a favorite of mine.
Okay. Yeah, I've just been jumping between whatever is needed for the nightmare grind.
Do you have a favorite weapon now?
Right now, I think my go-to is daggers. I've switched to daggers recently. And I mostly use the default ones, the backstab damage being 100% when they're fully upgraded. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's one of the gods gives you a boon that also does basically the same thing. And I don't know how it stacks, but...
It stacks?
It stacks, yeah. I mean, this damage is significantly higher. So, yeah, that's our Hades 2 update, I guess.
That's the Hades 2 update. How are you still actively putting in real time into it, or have you tapered?
I've been playing, but I've had a different game come up, which I guess we'll talk about next, which is Pragmata. Okay.
I keep now. The only thing I see about this is just the relationship between the main character and the little robot girl.
Right. Yeah. The dad simulator.
Yep. Being very, very dad-like. Is it cool? Is that the takeaway for you as well?
Is it cool? Okay, so I kind of went into blind. I obviously knew the basics that, hey, it's a space game, it's a Capcom first person shooter, and you protect the little girl. Like, that's basically what I knew before I started playing.
That's all you need to know.
And I was looking into it a little bit. I was like, didn't this game like get announced like years ago? And sure enough, got announced in June 2020.
As
So,
Pragmata, it didn't even go undergo
as
a change.
Pragmata.
I don't recall seeing anything about this game. Ever,
Yeah, so
until
this was announced
it came
6
out.
years ago. So they took their sweet time. It was delayed multiple times. So not a great look. But
what was the delay on? Do we know? Or is it just developmental?
Initial release date was supposed to be 2022, but I guess they just delayed it for polish, and yeah, here we are.
4 years of polish.
Later.
What's that look like?
It does look pretty good. I will say graphically, it looks pretty nice. I always play with the because I don't have a PS5 Pro. I just play with a high frame rate on basically all games. But yeah, it looks great. It looks nice.
You prioritize performance like the rest of us.
Of course.
Poor plebs.
I mean, look. if PS6 wasn't on the horizon, maybe I would consider a PS5 Pro, but I don't see the point of buying that.
I'd have to, and that will, as we get, man, that could be a whole episode where we could talk about a little bit of PS6 versus PS5, because I'm sure I have some thoughts on it.
Right.
I'm sure I have some negative thoughts.
I'm gonna list the things I like about the game first.
Yeah.
And I don't really have too much negative to say. I'm gonna be honest. I like the game a lot. To be fair, I do like all of the Resident Evil remakes. I didn't play 9 yet. It's on my to-do list, but so Capcom makes pretty good third-person shooters. Like I wasn't really worried about them dropping the ball on this one, but I thought it's gonna be a little bit like Dead Space, which was basically Resident Evil in space. I don't know if you played Dead Space.
I did. I played the remake as well.
Yep. So I thought it's gonna be kind of like that. So basically space Resident Evil, but it really is not at all. It's way more dynamic. So the level design is way different because you can float a lot, you can jump a lot, you can dash a lot. There's way more verticality to the levels. So it's not like it doesn't feel like you're just going a straight path, even though the levels are pretty like they are closed. It's not like an open world game.
So they're linear, but with some branching paths, we'll say.
With enough like exploration that it doesn't feel like I'm just going from A to B to C.
Okay, a lot of platforming in this. It's sounding very platformy.
There's some platforming.
How I feel about that.
There's some platforming. You have an air dash, so you can platform, but it's not like crazy amount of platforming.
Is most of the movement used for combat, I assume?
Yeah. The dashes are mostly like, although I do use the dash when I'm just running around because it's way faster than running.
101, gaming 101. Either jump across the whole map or dash across the whole map. It's going to be one of the two. It's not going to be your standard hold the stick forward.
So I don't know if you know like the main gimmick in this game with combat. Yeah, you have the mobility. So again, this game doesn't feel anything like Resident Evil's at all. It's way faster, you don't feel like you're stuck in one place. You can move around the enemies really easily. The enemies are quite slow too. So like you have a lot of mobility and the enemies are slow, but they kind of have to be because you have this
it's a mini
game. Yeah, it's like a little gimmicky hacking that you can. I say you have to do it because you do 0 damage if you don't hack the guys.
Oh, is it like whatchamacallit, where you have to do prime damage and then you can do real damage?
No. So the way this works is the little girl on your shoulder, basically you aim with L2 like regular third person shooter, right?
Yep.
These days. And while you're aiming, a little like pop-up window comes up with the hacking minigame. But this doesn't slow down the game. There's no like slow time, nothing. So as you're aiming, you have to use the face buttons to go on this grid, and you go to the green point to hack, basically. And you move around the grid with triangle, square, X, right?
Okay. They become your D-pad directions for the sake of argument. Triangle is up, X is down.
Yep, exactly.
Got it.
And you're just moving around the grid. You have some modifiers on it that you unlock as you play that makes them take more damage or freezes them. You can confuse them so they fight their own enemies. Like, there's some gimmicks in there that
can you poison them?
There's no poison that I have seen so far.
I have no interest in this game.
I understand, and like maybe they patch it and then you can play it. But
okay, so we'll keep a real close eye on that. So you said that there are status effects. Now, is it like standard status effects like freeze, fire, electric, and all that, or is it just a couple?
No, it's mostly just like status effects on the dudes that like, hey, they can't move for a few seconds, right?
Or freeze just holds them in place until like for 2 seconds or until they're hit. Is there like a stasis, like a paralyzed?
It's not until they're hit. They're kind of paralyzed until it runs out.
Okay.
But if you keep stacking it over and over again, the duration is reduced. So they become kind of immune to it over time. But they usually die after a couple hacks anyway. So it's like, because hacking does do damage itself. But
so
most of your damage comes from
am I sensing your loop here where, as you were saying, hacking does not slow down the game at all and you have to use the face buttons and all that. So was your solution to that to freeze an enemy, hack them very quickly, and then try to refreeze and hack again?
Well, you freeze them with hacking. All of the status effects that you do is through hacking. While you're hacking, the enemies keep going at you, so you have to keep dodging them while aiming and hacking. And once you hack them, you have like window of, I don't know, I think you can like upgrade it, but I'm pretty sure it's like, let's call it, if you hack someone fully, because there will be like blue nodes on the grid that you have to hit. And for each blue node, the hack will last longer.
Okay.
If you hit all of them, it's pretty long. It's like maybe 10 seconds that they're vulnerable to your guns. So you don't have to like hack every few seconds. And usually the normal enemies, if you hack them once, they should go down maybe twice, right? It's on bosses that it gets more tricky. And the grid changes based on enemy. So it's not, the hacking is not always the same because the grid can be bigger. They can have some slight gimmicks on it, yada yada. So that part's pretty cool. And then the only gun you really have for the beginning of the game is a pistol. It has unlimited ammo,
Good start.
It's like cooldown based. So I think you start the game with like 6 shots in it, and it takes quite long to recharge the bullets. And it recharges the bullets one at a time. So I constantly would find myself shooting the 6 bullets, the enemy would still be alive, and I can't shoot. I literally just have to kind of wait around for my
run in circles
gun.
And wait for the gun to reload itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that a problem that kind of eases itself over time, or?
Yeah, as you upgrade the gun, you get more.
26 hours
more
in,
ammo.
you're like, I have 7 shots, so now
I just got 8 shots right now. It was pretty exciting.
You're really selling me on the excitement for combat.
Listen, man, those
it
two
sounds like mostly
platforming
difference. With a weird hacking mini game that also doesn't slow the enemies down, so you can use.
You have a nice dash. The dash is really good. Like the dash is excellent. And it's quick. You can upgrade the dash where you have 3 dashes at once. The game moves. You know, it's
okay. So they give you a good amount of.
And then, because the whole premise of the game is, I'm not going to really talk about the story too much. It's still new, but the whole premise is you're on the moon and this company 3D printed a space base on it, right? So everything's like 3D printed by this giant machine, which leads them to use that to be like, hey, you can have some 3D printed guns that you find throughout the levels. They're not like 1-to-1, but they're basically like, hey, here's a shotgun kind of weapon, right? Or here's like a charge weapon that's kind of a sniper rifle, but not really.
Are they one and done, or are they?
So they're limited. So they might. When I would find them, they usually have like 4 bullets in them, and then they break. You can upgrade them also in base, because every time you go back to base, you can change your loadout
and if you found a gun, you can.
And if you find them, you can unlock it permanently. Yep. So you start the mission with the gun, but even when you start the mission, it will still only have like 4 or 5 bullets, and then it's done. So they're limited use. So
and that all felt good for you.
And that all feels pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
The pistol feels good. Like I think the gameplay in this game is extremely satisfying. Like once you get the hang of the hacking, at the beginning, it's like kind of a lot. You're trying to aim, you're trying to dodge, and you have to hack with face buttons at the same time. But then you realize, hey, the enemies are quite slow, and you do have a lot of gimmicks to use to kind of keep them stuck in one place. Even those 3D printed guns, sometimes there's like hey, this creates like a little field that if they enter, they cannot leave it for the duration.
Okay.
So you have a lot of like crowd control that helps you with the hacking. But yeah, you do 0 damage if they're not hacked. So you have to hack.
So it seems like it gives you a lot of mobility and like crowd control options, but it keeps damage output very limited
until they're hacked.
When you can do it and how quickly you can do it, essentially.
I would say it's like a normal dude. It's maybe like 3-4 seconds to hack it.
Okay,
you get pretty good at it.
How many shots in your gun? How many clips does that bad boy take?
Unlike the small dudes, it's probably like 1 clip if you're hitting the weak spot once they're hacked. So, you kill them. Usually it's like 1 hack per enemy unless they're like big dudes.
Okay.
Diana gets like upgrades as well where, hey, now your hack is multi-target. So it hacks all 3 dudes in the room at once.
And they all get the same...
And they all get
hacking.
Yeah, they all get hacked at once. So they all
I would
are
hope
debuffed.
that you would have to somehow like do 3 hacking mini games simultaneously.
No, yeah. You just hack the one dude and it spreads to everyone. So I just got to the point where there's an upgrade. I don't have it yet, but I saw it that it lets you auto hack. It lets you spend a meter to auto hack something. I haven't used it yet, but
I guess that's if you're in a room of like 5 dudes that are all kind of
charging at you or something. Yeah.
Well, they're all staggering maybe their shots, so you don't have a good opportunity to actually stand still for 4 seconds.
Right. Yep.
So you just auto hack one person as you're dashing around them, and then once that person's down, then maybe you get a window.
Yep. Okay. And you build up like a little meter every time you hack, and once the meter is full, Diane does like a special. It stuns the dudes for like ridiculous amount of time. It's really good on like big enemies or like mini bosses because they're stuck in like the electricity field for, it feels like forever. It feels like 20 seconds. It might be a little bit less, but it's just, once you do it, they're dead. Almost
20
always.
seconds in a combat in any game is
really
incredibly
good.
Long.
Yeah. It feels like cheating, but you that bar doesn't fill up that often. And I think that's the same bar that you would use if you use the auto hack.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same bar. So I think there's like 5, like if you like the world map kind of presents that there might be like 5 stages. I'm finishing the 3rd one, so I'm more than halfway done so far.
Okay, and it plays like a standard like action game, like you keep all of your resources when you die type of thing.
Yeah, it
just checkpoint
you back. You unlock checkpoints as you go. You have to like manually unlock them. Once you have it, you can teleport to that checkpoint from the base. So when you die, you get sent back to the shelter, and you can just go to your last discovered checkpoint or any of the checkpoints you have in the map already.
Okay.
It's like level based, so like each level has a few stages, and then you unlock the next level. You progress the story. They also have like a little challenge rooms. Those are like not part of the main game. You access them from the shelter, and those are like the scrub challenges. Like, hey, here's some platforming.
Oh, well, platforming.
And while you're platforming, you gotta collect all the things.
You gotta hack these enemies while you're platforming. You have to.
So they have a bunch of challenges, yeah. But one of them was like jump around this moving platforms, collect all the things, and do it under 50 seconds to get the gold medal. So yeah, I don't think this game is very long. I've heard it's like maybe 10 to 12 hours to beat.
Wow. Okay. So you don't even have that much in.
Yeah, I'm about like 6-7 hours in.
Okay.
I think
Did you spend the rest of the time playing Warriors Abyss?
No, I didn't have time for Warriors Abyss this week, unfortunately.
Aw.
Yeah.
But
it's a shame.
We were going to get your revised score, which I think you put at 5 or 6.
I think I said 5, yeah. 5, 6. Yeah. I think 5 feels right. But yeah, I like Pragmata so far. I'm gonna play some more of it. Well, I'm probably gonna be finished with the story by next week. I've heard you unlock higher difficulty once you beat it, so I might do that.
Does it feel like it's worth a replay?
I don't know yet. I mean, I hope you keep your upgrades for the higher difficulty, because there's a lot of upgrades, and if I have to collect all that shit again, I don't know if I want to do that. But yeah, the progression feels good. There's a lot of stuff you can unlock. And I finally got a new gun that's like a permanent gun that's not a pistol. It took a while.
It's got 10 shots in it.
It's kind of like a carbine style semi
12 shots, fully automatic.
It's like 20. It's like 20.
Okay.
It has some other gimmick, but I gotta be honest, I'm so used to the pistol and does so much more damage like per shot. Even I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to switch.
Okay. Does it have a lot of like priority and stuff? Like it has stagger effects and all that. Like it feels good to use,
Yep.
or
It had
okay.
So basically the gimmick of the carbine is if you shoot their weak spot enough, they get staggered and you get critical hit. There's no melee in the game other than if they're staggered, you get like a special melee execution style thing.
Okay.
You also
Actually,
can
that's good.
hack them into it. So like if they're low
Okay.
enough health, like a purple icon will appear on the grid, and if you go through it before you hack it, they'll get staggered and you can execute them. It's basically an insta kill once they're low health.
Are the executes fun?
I think they all look the same.
Okay. I'll real big throwback. How would you compare it to like the executes in Warhammer?
I think Warhammer had better execute.
Okay. Warhammer had really fun executes.
Yeah, I would say Warhammer executes are definitely better.
Okay.
This one is like it always I don't know if it's always the same, but it always feels kind of the same where you just like get close to the dude and put your gun against their head and shoot him.
Oh, okay.
So it's not even like Resident Evil style where it's like, hey, do a fucking flip cake or something. No, it's you shoot him.
And it doesn't direction doesn't matter or anything like that. Like Resident Evil, if you get a back attack, you get a different animation.
No, I don't think so.
That's okay. It sounds like melee isn't really the focus.
No,
of the game.
Again, there's basically no melee except this.
You got your 5-shot pistol, and that's it.
So yeah, that's Pragmata. We'll talk more about it once I finish it. So far, I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that Capcom keeps making single player games that a lot of people like, and I think it's sold pretty well. So who knows? Maybe there'll be a sequel. I'm not sure, but so far I like it. Now, is it worth $60 if it's...
Is it a $60 game?
Right. Is it a $60 game? Like, do you need to run out and grab Pragmata today? I wouldn't say that. But on the other hand, if everyone was thinking that way, we would never have nice things, right? So someone has to buy them.
Somebody has to buy them. Well, I mean, what? So, I mean, the big thing I hear about is just the daddy-daughter kind of relationship. Is that really as endearing and engaging as
I haven't really clicked with that stuff so far. It's like okay. I'm not saying it's like terrible. It's just I think the little girl is pretty cool. She's like a little goblin. She has like goblin energy about her.
Okay.
Like she's not like, oh, I'm so innocent. Like she doesn't know anything about like literally about anything. She's totally clueless about humans.
Okay.
So
is it like the type of thing that she like blow like a laser an enemy's head off and goes like, did I do good? Like a big thumbs up type of thing, like not kind of like fish out of water stuff.
Not as much, but it's kind of like, hey, when you have an upgrade, she like puts in her mouth to eat it. So,
okay.
Like,
doing like dumb kid shit.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a good. Okay. Well, that may have been the best. The best, what am I looking for? The best recommendation for the game so far.
Yeah, I think she's pretty cool. I think the main dude, Hugh, is very bland, generic dude. But
they should pay you to shill this game because I wanted to play this game until I heard you talk about all the platforming and the 5-shot gun with the longest reload.
Dude, I'm telling you, the 5-shot gun, like it sounds stupid, but it totally works. Like mechanically it works. You just have enough going on with this stupid hacking. I don't think the hacking is stupid. I think the hacking is actually what makes the game unique.
Sounds like you have to use it.
There's a lot going on in combat, so I'm okay with like simple pistol. It's fine.
It's okay. Sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more. I would rather a game give me one weapon that's well thought of and designed with like maybe a nice branching tree of upgrades, than to have like 80 weapons and 70 of them are like useless or lesser versions of the top 10 weapons that you need to be using, or realistically the top 2 weapons you have to be using.
Yeah, and like those printed out guns, because you have each gun on like the D-pad, so your main gun that doesn't expire is on the up. And then the rest of the arrows are different types of guns. So on the left you can only have like the offensive kind of guns, so like, you know, the shotguns of the world or the sniper rifle kind of things. On the right D-pad you can only have specific type of guns. Those are more like support guns. Those are the guns that will be like, hey, they knock dudes down, or it freezes the enemy for a bit, stuff like that. And but I just got like down. It's like another. These are like gimmick guns, I call them. It spawns like a clone of myself that the enemies will chase after. You know,
an actual decoy mechanic that works?
They actually do target it. Yes, it's pretty good.
Okay, you know, listen, I love decoy mechanics in games. If they're done correctly.
I wish the decoy would like move, but it is stationary, but it does draw their attention for extended period of time. Like it's pretty good. Again, the crowd control portion of the game is necessary because otherwise you would get overwhelmed with the hacking and dodging at the same time.
Okay.
So, and the bosses so far have been okay.
So you are approximately, we'll say, 60%.
I think I'm like 60% feels
60% of the game.
Yeah.
Where would you put your rating right now?
I think it's like an 8.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. Again, I don't think like unless people are, you know, into Capcom third-person shooters, I don't know if $60 is the price you have to pay to play it. Maybe wait for a sale, but
I personally think that I would wait for this to.
Yeah, and like it's good. I like their game, so I just wanted to check it out. So, but I wouldn't. I normally don't spend $60 on games like this because
there are so many out that
exactly.
I can't. I never thought that this day would come, but the gaming release schedule is like faster than I can consume content.
Correct.
Simply put,
there's always backlog. Always.
I still find games where I'm like, this was released in 2019. This game's great. Like, like, holy shit. How'd I miss that?
Yep. And that's Pragmata minute.
That's Pragmata. Okay. So an 8 from Paul. And we'll have more updates on that later. Potentially even from me if we see some sale stuff, but we probably won't see that for at least another month. Yeah. You think this is the type of game that will go free to play super quick?
On PS Plus at some point, I could totally see it. Yeah. But
seems about right. 12 hours.
That usually takes like a year and a half to happen.
Yeah, it's true. It won't be 2 months.
It will not be 2 months. Yeah. I mean, the game came out April.
So that's Pragmata. Is that all of our games for the week?
I think that's all I've played. I mean,
that's pretty much it for me. Unless you want to hear about Marvel Rivals, you want to hear about the balance in that game or anything? Or
sure, I can ask you some questions about Marvel Rivals. Who's your go-to? Who's your main?
So it's important to note that I will not play the tank role. I only play non-comp quick play. For anybody not really in the Marvel Rivals, kind of fandom or whatever. It's basically Overwatch, nerfed down quite a bit. All movement is slower, damage is probably a nerf down. So it's a slower version. It's more scrub, 6v6 play. You have 3 roles, DPS, heal, and tank. I mostly play heal, and then I'll play some DPS if like my kids are really shitting the bed.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like it's simple objective stuff. It's gotten to the point now, honestly, especially if you're playing, I'm going to say below like platinum level. It's very casual. There's not a lot of, I get, you get a little bit in every game you play where like, somebody's flaming somewhere, but voice chat is not really a thing, and it's got open voice chat, which is insane. And I'm in open voice chat every time. I just, you know what I mean? I like to get the experience. You never know. Maybe you get into a game where they're like, hey, they actually say useful shit. They don't.
No, usually not.
I'm at the point now where I can just play it with almost no volume on. I don't even need that many cues. It's fun to kick around. So, my mains right now would be Cloak and Dagger on the heal, and then Namor on the damage. But the tier list. I
don't know who Namor is. Who's Namor?
He's the submariner. He's the sea guy.
Oh. He's the Aquaman?
He's the Aquaman. He's the Marvel Aquaman.
Okay. All right.
I will say, I do always love that, like, Marvel naming conventions are head and shoulders better than DC in pretty much every way. Like think about
Yeah,
your
but
DC
like,
guys, like Superman, Batman, and Aquaman. You know, like
listen.
I wonder what those guys do.
Hey, at least I know what Aquaman can do.
That's true. You had no
I
idea
don't
what
even know what
Namor was.
Namor is. Yeah,
He's the Sea King,
Namor, also known as the Submariner.
as the Submariner or the Submariner. I don't even. I'm not quite sure where the inflection is on that one.
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah,
He's your
and that's
main.
that's my Marvel Rivals update for the week.
You've been playing this for a while, right? Since it came out.
Yeah, you know, a couple of my buddies got onto it and they wanted to do like some comp play. I did that a little bit, and to be honest, comp play plays like Overwatch, which is not
Sure.
that much fun. It's very intense. You are very role specific. If you're a healer and people die, like they just get mad at, like they blame. It's a blame game.
Of course. It's 6v6 or 5v5?
6v6. So the standard lineup would be 2 tanks, 2 heals, and 2 DPS. Of course, if you play, you know, quick match style and non-comp, you're basically running 4 DPS, 2 heals, or maybe 3 DPS. Well, everybody wants to play DPS. Everybody sucks at it too.
Do they like keep adding new maps or anything, or is it just new characters?
They are consistently adding content, characters and maps very consistently. Like often. Every month, I want to say they have a new character. They're doing seasons every shit. I mean, it feels like it might be quarterly or 2 months or something.
Yeah. I mean, a live service game has to have it.
Yeah, they're pretty good about it, even though I think that the player base has dropped off quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like when it came out, it was very,
very popular. Everybody played it.
Yep.
But you know, they added new game modes, so they have like a Call of Duty Zombies mode.
Okay. Like a wave-based thing?
Yep. I played one of them and they just came out with another one. I was fine with it. It's not really my thing, but it's fun. I'll give it to them.
All right.
Yeah. So look, I'm not gonna recommend Rivals to anybody.
I mean, it's free, so it's easy.
It is
if someone wants
free.
to check it out.
Yeah, check it out. You know, I'd say quick match is kind of where you want to be.
Okay, here's a real question. Have you spent money on it?
No.
You're completely free to play, and
Correct.
You don't feel like you're missing out on anything?
I have skins for every character that I play.
Okay, so the free to play is actually viable?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Because that's not always the case. You think back to like League days, it's like, I have to play every day for 8 hours
League,
a day.
In all fairness, League did kind of do the pendulum swing where when they first came out, they were giving points away. So I had like skins for half my characters, like, and then they kind of realized, like, hey, wait a second. At the rate that we're dishing out these free points, like nobody will ever have to pay for anything.
Right.
So then they like really tightened up. Now it's somewhere in the middle, I think.
Yeah.
What they did was they made it so that you can now recycle old resources into like currencies. And they also diversified their currency, which I hate, by the way. Any game that has multiple forms of currency for different purchases is predatory. Just so, and that's a statement that's not an opinion. That's not even an opinion I have. That's a predatory thing to do. Using different currencies in your game for in-game content that all somehow correlate to real money. That you then have to figure out the exchange rates for.
Yep.
Because that's never like in a sidebar where they're like, oh, the blue crystals equal 5 of the gold crystals. And you know what I mean? Like, you end up just seeing something that you want and it has a currency that you've never, and you're like, oh, it's only 300. Yeah, no, I have like 6,000 of those.
Right.
And then you look at it and you're like, oh no, this is the blue one. How do I get the blue one? Shit. Okay.
And
then you're like,
buy the blue one.
Oh, season pass. I don't want a season, but no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of, and yes, I hate that stuff.
You never did a season pass in Marvel Rivals?
No.
They don't even have like a free track for season passes?
They do. Okay. And I claim things to remove the notification things all over my screen. I cannot stand having little exclamation marks that are bouncing on all of my icons when I'm on a menu.
Right.
So they got me there. But no, I've not spent any money on the game. The gameplay is totally fine. The community is whatever. You know, it's a fun little, if you want to do very, very soft comp play, it's a fun game for that.
Right,
not
especially if you have like a
hyper-competitive.
squad, it's sure. I could see that.
Yeah, we did okay with squad stuff. I found anytime we started getting close to comp is when people really, really leaned into the roles. And that's when they wanted you to maximize everything that you're doing, maximize your outputs and all that.
Yeah.
It ends up just not, you can be just as effective and win just as many games doing like positioning type of things, tactic things, picking good choke points to defend, things like that, as opposed to like brute forcing at each other and expending all your resources until you have ults.
That's
kind of the way the game would play. What's up?
What's the meta currently? Do you know? Like what's top tier?
So current meta, I believe they just switched seasons like
sure
a week ago or so, but it was a dive meta.
Okay.
So in the DPS, you either have like your range guys or you have like a Black Panther, who they'll have like maybe soft stealth in their kit, the ability to do more damage to isolated targets. Or they'll have like a Wolverine will have like a shield mechanic once he's in a fight that will proc. So, it's
right.
It opens up different types of play styles, we'll say. Yeah. And then, of course, like a Namor, he's anti-dive because he's got little auto-targeting squids that he can toss out.
So turrets.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to gank him. So, depending on how you play, and that's, it's kind of the same in any other game. I'd say it's a very casual version of Overwatch would be my best way to describe it, with cooler characters because they're Marvel characters.
Yeah, I mean, they got one of the best licenses, so yeah, good for them. That's
good for them. And that's the other game that I've been playing. So pick up Pragmata, Hades 2, and Marvel Rivals this week, free to play on. Make sure you use our code ScrubcastPod. So, in further news,
we got
last
some
time
news.
we were here, we were talking, and you had mentioned that it was up for further review, that there was going to be not an opt out, but that's kind of what it was. You had to validate your online existence, validate your account. Basically.
Right. It was basically a DRM for PlayStation, but turns out it was all bullshit. So basically people just assumed the worst, but Sony has clarified that basically the new purchases, because this was only for the digital downloads, which to be fair, most people buy digital games these days.
Yep.
People are freaking out because it was showing the 30-day countdown thing when you were buying new games. And basically everyone was under assumption that you have to get online once every 30 days, otherwise you get locked out, right?
Yep.
But you only have to do it once, and then you get permanent license on the game.
Can you do it right when you purchase the game?
You can do it as soon as you download it and install it, you're good.
So the only time that this would even come into play would be if for some reason you purchase a game digitally, like you had internet, you purchased it.
Yep.
And then you downloaded it.
Uh-huh.
And you did not execute the file and untethered yourself from the internet.
I guess.
And then went to play it. It would play, but on a temporary license for 30 days.
Yes.
And
so
you would have to opt to never go on the internet on your console. You wouldn't download any other games. You're only playing that game offline, and in 30 days you have not completed it and moved on to another game, is what we're saying. That's the scenario that this comes into play.
Yeah, what we're saying is there is no issue. That's what we're saying. So internet was just being internet, freaking out over nothing. It's the update. Are
we sure that was not their initial plan?
Maybe
even if that were their initial plan, I mean, even if they just said you had to...
We can put our tinfoil hats and pretend that they just decided to roll it back because of the backlog. Sure.
Yeah. Let's pretend like they were gonna do the shitty version of what they were saying. Even then, it would only be that you had to online validate yourself
once
every 30 days.
Once a month. Yeah. Which again, who doesn't have their PlayStation hooked up to internet in some capacity? I think most people have it.
I just can't imagine being at the level of gaming to have a PlayStation 5 and not have like well, and again, you have to have internet access because you have to download the game.
Right.
No matter what, there's not even if you had a code for a download or something, you would still have to go online and put that code in to validate it and download the physical game.
Correct.
Like the data doesn't exist on your console until you download it from somewhere.
Yeah.
And to do that, you must be, unless you use like a flash drive or something. But at that point, you're jailbreaking your, like, you know what I mean? You're doing very advanced things. Maybe is that what they were trying to combat?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know how many people are trying to hack their PS5s actively, but I don't think that's a huge number of users.
No, I mean, we talked about it. You could do a side load thing with the Star Wars game.
Sure. But like, who's doing that? Like, we're not doing
also, it. And I going into the next news, I think that you could use some form of hacking to make the next piece of news work, which would be the Steam controller. Scrub, tell me about this thing. It's green.
Well, it sold out very quickly, so you can't get it anymore unless you want to pay. I believe they're going for about $250 to $300 now on resale markets.
And they were a clean $99.99, right?
$99.99.
Oh, $250, baby.
$250. Yeah.
We're in the wrong business.
They're all scalped to hell. Yeah. It looks pretty sweet. I don't know.
Speaking of which, we're doing a giveaway of a Steam controller to our top patrons this month.
I think the little like touchpad, like trackpads things are pretty sweet. I could see that being useful. Is that what I've
been looking for?
Right.
Is that what I've been asking about when I'm saying like, hey, how do I get some sort of mouse type of aiming? Just anything that isn't that joystick.
I think this is it.
Is that it?
I think this is it.
Do you know why it's not it?
Why not?
How do you play that? What consoles can you use that controller on?
Your personal computer.
Oh, but surely you can just get the drivers and it would just act as a generic.
You can use it with your Steam Deck.
Yeah, but no, I mean, what you would do is, because that's very obviously an Edge. That's a PS5 Edge controller with 2 trackpads on it. So you would just get the drivers, right?
Right.
And you would upload them to your PlayStation. Then you would use that to play all your favorite games, right?
No.
Oh, what do you do instead?
You buy a PC and you play PC games with this controller.
Oh.
But to be fair, I mean, the PlayStation/Xbox support for Windows has gotten basically native at this point. So you can use your PlayStation or Xbox controller on PC too. It's fine. They all work. You don't have to have like some weird third party shit anymore for a long time. It all kind of just works these days. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how long ago was that when I want to say
I remember when PS4 came out, it was like starting to be like a thing. But like for PlayStation, I specifically remember I had to like download some weird like, hey, this is
for PS3. I had to get what was the name of the
app?
It was DS something. DS.
Yes,
I want to say it was called DS4.
Could have been. Yeah. I had the same thing.
To get the controllers to work and configure and map and all that. And it was a huge pain in the ass to map them.
Yes.
Now, to be honest, I believe I played, and this is going to sound really odd, Diablo 4.
Okay.
And I think I just hooked up a PS4 controller to my laptop and played it that way.
Why did you play on your laptop?
Because my friend that asked me to play with him only does
play on
PC gaming.
Got it. I think there's crossplay in that game, though. I'm pretty sure you could have played from your console with him.
I think in that case it was fine.
Okay.
I don't really enjoy a lot of those types of games on controllers. Games that feel like they're very, very much made for mouse and keyboard with menus that you may or may not want to be like clicking around your screen on. It's like, it's tough to bind that many buttons.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to. So maybe that could just be a me problem, but I'm wondering when they will with that Steam controller. Or better yet, when is, Zingyo or whatever, some overseas company, when are they going to actually just clone it?
Maybe PS6 will have little trackpads on it,
Is that how they're going to get me?
Possibly.
What would you see, I don't want to talk about the PS6 right now because
we can move on.
Because that's a great question. What do they need to have to make it to get your okay. So we're not, everybody plug your ears and pretend like we didn't
save
talk
our
about that.
PS6 conversation for another time.
Could be next week, depending on.
Could be next week, yeah. Depending if we just play about one
if I just
each.
look into it a little bit, so I'm not literally talking on my ass. I don't even know how much that console is supposed to retail for.
There's no information yet, but considering they raised prices on PS5, it's not looking too hot.
We looking at 800,
We're
850 range.
looking. I'm guessing we're looking at like. I mean, it cannot be cheaper than PS5, right?
It cannot be cheaper than PS5. That is correct.
Yeah, probably 800. Be my guess.
That's a big chunk of change.
It is. It is. Hey, speaking of new consoles versus old consoles, Call of Duty no longer will be on PS4 anymore. They finally killed it.
So
it's amazing to me.
Is it full sunsetted, like gone?
Well, it's just Call of Duty, but where Call of Duty goes, the industry follows usually.
Right.
So yeah, they basically announced that the next Call of Duty will only be on PS5 and PC, Xbox. It will not be on PS4.
Is that going to be hardware limitations type of stuff?
Yeah, I think.
I assume at this point, I'm not even mad. That doesn't even sound like they're doing something like shady.
Right. It doesn't sound crazy.
I think that they literally cannot make a PS4 version perform with PS5 players or PS6 players. Like, I have a feeling that
we're on year 6 of PlayStation 5. Like
PlayStation 4. I got a PlayStation 5 when I was playing Borderlands with my friend, and he was loading into places so quickly. Like, literally, the load times were, and they weren't even that bad on PS4. You don't realize how bad they are until you see what it can be.
Right.
Like, he literally would be fighting the next wave of enemies, and I'm like still looking at the loading. I'm like, oh. He's like, dude, you're in here dying. I'm like, good.
I think that's one of the best things the current gen consoles did is those SSD drives really, 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 really help. Like, it's hard to go back to like all the days. Did
you install a second SSD in your PS5?
I did not. No.
I did.
Fun fact, speaking of, my PS5 currently is in the fucking repair.
And what the hell are we going to do?
I'm getting back tomorrow.
About next week?
I'm getting back tomorrow. I actually dropped it off today, and it's going to be ready tomorrow. But
I didn't even know that you could. Okay, well, now we got to talk about that. So, because you might be answering some questions for people. I didn't even think you could send it, like bring it to somewhere to repair it. I figured that you would have to reach out to them like you would with a laptop with your Republic of Gamers bullshit, and you're just like, hey, and they're like, oh, it looks like you scuffed the hardware, and that's why it's going to cost you $800 to get this back to you. Yeah, I was picturing it being not so cool. You took it to a local place.
I took it to a local place. It's about $90.
What was the problem?
The problem was it would shut off while playing games. It was a big problem.
It's a bit of a problem. Overheating?
Basically, it was overheating, yeah. And when I was looking into it, it seems like a pretty common issue for PS5 where the liquid metal that they use for cooling gets fucked up. So basically, they have to open it up, reapply it, maybe get some dust out of it, and that's it.
$90, huh?
And it wouldn't happen with maybe like 8. I'm doing the conversion rate in my head.
Was it happening with Pragmata?
It was happening with Pragmata. I was
about to say games that are probably pushing the actual graphical limits of it,
so
as opposed
it was
to
like Hades, no problem.
Hades probably fine. Pragmata probably a little bit less fine.
Pragmata a little bit less fine. I also had first I started noticing when I was playing RE4, but I was a bit confused what the hell happened. Like, oh, did I lose power? Like, what?
Right. The first time something happens where you're like, oh,
But then it happened Pragmata twice. So I'm like, okay, I need to fix this. I can't do this. So yeah, I dropped it off today. I'll get it back tomorrow.
Now, was this like a local electronics repair shop, or is this
they
place?
Specialize in fixing consoles. That's all they do.
Let me see if does something like that. PS5 console repair. They would see if anything like that exists.
They could fix even PS3 still. Like, they had many options. Now I am in a big city, so maybe that's why I can find stuff like that.
I'm in Philadelphia. Does that count?
Kind of.
It better. I see one that's labeled like PS5 Xbox Repair Philly. That's one. Most of them are like Chemtech, phone tablet repair,
sure, those places.
Device Doctor. That's what I was expecting.
Yep.
I do see the first review from the Device Doctor was fix my PS5 HDMI port. Great communication. So I guess it exists.
I don't know how people break their HDMIs, but apparently that's a big issue as well. I don't know how could you possibly do it, to be honest.
To break one? Like the port?
To break the port itself. What are you doing? Are you pulling the plug on your Street Fighter and you pull the wrong plug by accident? Instead of pulling the Ethernet, you pull the HDMI and you break it?
I would assume that the console would have to tip over. Maybe like a pet. I would assume like pets or kids.
Or kids,
I mean,
yeah.
maybe
Or
anger. I mean, maybe you throw your controller
rage.
at the console. I mean, listen, I've
broken some controllers, sure.
But when's the last time you threw a controller?
Not in a while.
I mean, how many is a while? How many days? How many hours?
Since I don't play like online stuff much these days, it tends to happen it's really the online fucking bullshit that would piss me off. Playing with a kid that's terrible in Street Fighter and him beating my ass was like,
I could sweeping you over and over again. Yeah, I could see that. Okay.
I was close. The closest I came was I played Tekken. What was Tekken that came out? 7, 6, 7, 8?
8.
Okay.
And I think they're on 9
Tekken
now.
8. No, I think we were on 8. I played Tekken 8 last year. Yeah.
Okay.
So I played some online in that, and it only took a couple matches before I was like, I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm good. And the scrubs were terrible. Like, everyone was bad. The game just came out. It had a bunch of people playing. Everyone was awful. And it was just very frustrating.
Tekken is one of those games where you need to learn the character's movesets so that you know when strings are ending and you know what properties they have. That's a game where mid was a big property. Like the high, mid, low, kind of like Virtua Fighter. You know what I mean?
Did you play the new Tekken? Like, they changed it a lot.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen some like tournament stuff. And then
we'll
you
play
see some meme.
when I see you in a couple months.
Okay. bring it with you.
They scrubified that game. It's probably the easiest Tekken of all time,
well,
which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's probably also one of the most fun, like, casual friendly Tekkens ever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just by nature, I think that the way that their combo systems work and the mechanics, like the intended game flow, you just have to have you have to have knowledge really in that game.
Sure.
To do well.
Of course. But it's a good game. If everyone's bad, it's a fun game for everyone.
Yeah, it's like Marvel Rivals. It's no fun if everybody's trying real hard.
Yeah.
But if you're like just jumping in with, 5 other dudes and nobody's really like chatting, you just kind of, if you see something, you do something type of thing. Like, yeah, it's fun like that. So maybe we could do that. Okay. I could.
Going back to the story about this killing PS4, what do you think the percentage of players are on PS5 versus PS4? How many percent of all players are on PS5 versus PS4 active players?
Is this something you're going to answer for me and you're getting my guess?
I have an answer in front of me. Yeah.
Good.
You're just guessing.
If I were going to guess, I'd say that it's actually a tighter margin than you would think. Closer to 50-50, maybe a 60-40 in favor of PS5. Potentially even the other way.
Yep, you basically nailed it. It's like 60-40 these days. It's
a lot of people can't afford a PS5. And I know that sounds crazy because even $800 for a computer is like you can't get a computer worth anything for $800.
Yeah.
So like the idea that a console is going to be and people can't afford it and all that, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
And just people, they don't have it.
Now,
I wouldn't have it if I didn't play with my friend and he embarrassed me and I couldn't play the game together. Funny enough, we were talking about throwing controllers. Borderlands 4 is the last time that I threw a controller. Playing offline, single player, and had an extremely frustrating, CPU experience.
Do you play that game in co-op or?
I played it co-op with my friend, but he like fell off it real quick, and then I still wanted to get a little bit more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start turning up like the difficulty modifiers on it and all that, it's not that bad, but it opens up the door for very frustrating experiences.
Sure.
Random like huge explosions on the screen. You're like, oh shit, I got dropped. And then you get back up and you get dropped again. You're like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then you're almost out and then you finally die. And it's even like super forgiving on like the death timers and spawns and all that.
Right.
But just something about it. And I tossed my controller. Dude, scared the shit out of the house. I'll tell you what.
It's
My
just
girl
kind of
was sitting
crazy.
right next to me. She wasn't. I was completely silent too. Like it was like
Yeah.
a slow internal build up. It wasn't like I wasn't mouthing off and grumbling. It was just like it went 0 to 60. Just tossed it away from me. Bro, and it was my Edge controller, which made me so
Oh,
sad. Oh, it knocked all the like the peripherals off of it. One of my my joysticks popped out, like the entire mod popped out.
right. It's a nice controller. I
It
think we talked
was.
about it. I don't know if it's worth the money, but it's a nice
I don't
controller.
think it is.
Yeah.
I will say that the best thing about it is that you can change your triggers to be on the back grip of your controller. So your R2, L2, you can have tiny little metal triggers that you attach and they feel great.
Nice.
But you lose that haptic stuff.
Right.
So, you know, if you're playing like I know like a lot of the modern, like the Call of Duty games, as your clip empties, the trigger will force back on you.
Yep.
You won't get any of that. So, yeah, 6, it depends on how much feedback you need. You know, how much how much do you like? Have you noticed how much feedback there is now in a controller when you're playing, like Rumble and all that?
There's a ton of it in Pragmata, yeah. A lot.
I got for me, I think it was like the frog in the boiling water syndrome. Like I didn't really notice. Literally 2 days ago, my like the game glitched out and it stopped all the haptic shit. And I was lost. I didn't know when moves were going out. I didn't, you know what I mean? I was so used to like hitting an input and feeling a certain rumble in my hands to know that something happened. Dude, it was very, very strange. They're definitely, you think about the way that we used to play games, and dude, I would play with like no instruction manual on a game where the graphics weren't clear on what you were even looking at and somehow still figure it all out. And there was no like online to look shit, you know what I mean? You just do it all. Now I'm like, my controller lost the rumble function. I wasn't even sure if I was playing. It's that new shit. It makes you weak.
It does. It does.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's move on from that. We're in May now. Does this mean that we are at the next round?
We got some
Of
new
monthly
games
games?
on PS Plus. Hell yeah. We got good old FIFA 26. It's no longer called FIFA. It's Football Club 26 because they lost the license to FIFA. But
Is that true?
yeah.
So wait, do they have
They
can
have
they
the
use
players
real
and
players?
stuff. Yeah, they have the players, but they don't have the FIFA.
What would it take for you to play a sports game?
I play these occasionally if I have a few people over who we might be like, hey, it's 1 a.m. Let's just play a match of FIFA 2v2 to wrap up the night. That's about it. That's my extent of playing sports.
And he corrects you. Oh, do you mean FC 20? You mean football club?
Of course. Football Club 26. Yes.
Okay.
What about you? You play any sports games ever?
Nope. I think the most sports game experience that I had was NHL 94 for the Sega Genesis. I am an expert at that game. I found an exploit where you could run the player into the goal and it counted as shooting the puck over and over again.
Nice.
Yep. So I definitely I mastered that game. There was a mutant one of those mutant football.
Oh yeah,
games.
yeah.
Oh, NFL Blitz. That
Blitz.
was the one. Oh,
Yeah.
Blitz was great for N64. And I believe that's it. I have not played a modern Madden. And by modern, I mean PSX and up.
Right.
I don't even know how
I've
the
never
plays
played a
like
Madden,
work.
ever. I've never played Madden. I play FIFA a bit.
Yeah, I've never played a FIFA game or any 2K. Like
Wrestling
the NBA,
game or
2Ks.
something. Yeah. I don't know.
The wrestling
I mean,
ones I played, but I didn't play any of like the EA ones. I played one of the old ones for like N64 had like the cool wrestling games, I think.
Right.
But that, and I don't even consider that a sports game. That was a combat game. That was a brawler of some sort.
Sure. Yeah.
It was
I mean,
a fighter.
now they're trash. Now they're
All
terrible,
trash,
but-
yes. I would say that the sports games are trash too. I believe that they're lazy, cash grab,
Yeah, it's
just
every
running
year
the
it's
franchise.
same.
It's the same
thing. Yep. But Football Club 26. At least it's like the newest
it's
one
free.
that they give you. Not
Well,
like,
it's free with our code. Put in ScrubcastPod right in the.
why don't you go ahead and talk about the next game for us, Chris?
So the next game you'll have to explain because I actually thought it was a different game in my head. I thought it was Wukong,
Yeah, I bet you did.
and I saw Wu Chang, and I'm like, did he mistype that?
I wish it was Wukong because I think that game is okay. And I'm pretty sure Wu Chang Fallen Feather is it's not so hot. I looked at the reviews and
I recall kind of seeing something about this. I'm doing a little
it's
quick Google search.
It's like another clone of Souls game.
Okay, well, the first question that people also ask is, why is Wu Chang bad? It launched with a bunch of problems in their marketing. It ran poorly on both PC and console.
Awesome.
So word spread fast that it was refund worthy.
Okay, well.
Oh,
now
Chinese players also noticed the home region price was higher than overseas prices, which made them even more mad. I don't know who wrote this. This is like a Reddit thing. So this is unsubstantiated, but I'll take it at face value. I believe all those things.
What
it ran poorly on everything.
What are the chances you'll check out Wu Chang Fallen Feathers?
I can tell you it's very low, considering I was looking at some key features and details, and I jumped right to duration, and the main campaign takes approximately 25 to 35 hours.
Huh. I mean, you can check it out. But you don't even like Souls-like, so...
No, and it's like intense skill-based. Yeah, I thought that this would play more like...
Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, Warriors Abyss. Speaking of, when do you have... Let's go back to talk about that game, not this game.
Nope.
No, well, it's fine. I'll think of it randomly, and I'll say it when we're talking about something completely different. I'm sure.
And I just feel like there's so many Souls-like clones, and Wu Chang is not even like one of the good ones.
No,
so.
And I watch a channel of like a dude that just plays like Souls-like games. Like he tries them out, a lot of like developer specials. They'll send it to him first, that type of thing, and I don't think he even picked this game up. But yeah, I don't like how many there are. And when you see like the clones, you realize how much effort goes into a Souls-like game, like Elden Ring,
right,
or Dark Souls, when you see how badly it can go if the balance isn't very, very tight.
Yeah.
If the mechanics are not extremely well done with good AI, good tells, good properties to weapons and all that.
Yeah, it's
the
just
little
not
things. A fun experience.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know if that's a game for me.
I got a game for you.
Okay.
It's gotta be 9 Souls.
Okay. I own that game.
Do you? Have you played?
I 4 hours in that game.
Nice. Perfect. Well, now it's free on PS Plus. So what can you tell me about 9 Souls?
I don't know what. So when I saw that it was free, I was confused because I actually thought I had already picked it up for free. I don't recall paying. This is not a title that I would have looked at and thought, I need this. I'll pay for this. This is no Warriors Abyss. So I think I got it on a sale.
Okay.
I got past the first boss. I don't know. It ended up it kind of plays out like a bloodstained ritual. What do they call those? Castlevanias.
Yeah, sure.
They were adding some more mechanics to it, and it's
like parry heavy.
I wasn't even utilizing the parry yet. Admittedly, I didn't need to.
Okay.
So I think that it will become quite a thing.
Because PlayStation describes it as a Sekiro-inspired deflection-based combat. Sekiro is literally all you do is parry.
Yeah, I think the dodge system in this game was decent, at least to start. And it had like a skill tree that I was barely into, but it was like 3 paths, one that's more skill-based, one that's more movement-based, and one that was, I want to say, defense-based. I'd have to re-look at it. I'd have to look at it again.
Right.
Where I left off, they'd introduced a mechanic where you had a little sprite that you could use to explore areas for exploration, I guess. But it would let you know what you were getting into.
All right.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Does that type of game appeal to you? Are you a big parry guy?
I don't know if I'm like a big 2D guy. Like sometimes I try to get into those games like Hollow Knights of the world and stuff like that. They're okay. I don't love them.
Did you beat Hollow Knight?
I don't think I finished it. No.
If there were ever a game in that genre to beat, it would probably be Hollow Knight. I believe that is the best.
Like that's the best one.
Class.
Yeah. And then the sequel just came out like this year. I'm pretty sure.
Correct, where you play as like the female character Hornet or something.
Yeah. So like I liked it. I didn't hate it, but I just get bored after a while.
I could see that.
And I do like some Metroidvania mechanics. Like Pragmata actually does have a lot of Metroid style things where, hey, you're in this level, but you don't have the upgrade out, destroy those crystals yet, so you can't really get everything on the first run. So you gotta go back once you get it from later levels if you want it.
Right, and I don't know if Nine Souls would play like that.
No, I think this is more straightforward.
I think it did. I think there was a couple things where you'd go through, break some things, go back, use an elevator.
Sure.
I think it was a lot of that. I'm also confusing it with another game. It was called like Satgat or something. I swear to God.
I'm sorry. Did you have a stroke or
Satgat?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
please
sure.
Tell me it's not gonna.
Probably not even a real game.
I know it's not even showing up in Google.
It's like a slur in Vietnamese or something.
The video game, The Devil Within, Satgat. It's a 2.5 Souls-like Metroidvania set in neo-futuristic version of the Joseon Dynasty. I cannot be saying that correctly.
Nailed it.
Apologize to all of my. I don't even know what language that's. But is that Chinese? Is that Korean? It's Korean.
Apologies to all the Korean listeners.
Yeah, but don't forget to use our code ScrubcastPod.
Why don't you go to the last news story of the day?
All right, so we got Halo 2 and 3.
Halo 2 and 3 remakes.
Where are they releasing these?
It's coming to PS5, Xbox, and PC. That's where we're at with video games. We have Halo 1 is coming out this year. They're remaking the Halo 1 campaign. It's coming out on PS5 for the first time ever.
Would you play that game?
If it had co-op to play the campaign? Yeah, sure. I could play it. Why not?
Okay, I mean, they all did have co-op, but it was couch co-op. But it was also before online play was really a thing. I mean,
it was OG Xbox.
It has to have co-op.
I believe it will have co-op. But yeah, there's early rumors about, hey, they're going to make 2 and 3 remakes as well following the first one. Which, that makes sense.
Yeah, you mean they looked at Capcom remaking all the Resident Evils and rolling in money?
Right.
And they were like, hey, wait a second. Bungie, who hasn't... where's Bungie been?
Bungie's owned by PlayStation.
But what's the last game? What's the last game that they put out?
Bungie?
Yeah.
I think they came out with a game this year.
No. What did they do?
Yeah.
Destiny 2?
No. There's a new game from Bungie. I'm pretty sure it came out this year. Marathon? Yeah. Yep. It's like an online shooter thing.
That wasn't one of the shitty ones.
No. It's brand new. It's people like Marathon a lot, apparently. I haven't played it, but Bungie, Sony bought Bungie at some point. So now the Halo Studios is the company that makes Halo for these remakes. And Halo Studios is owned by Microsoft. But Microsoft changed their strategy.
They already gave up on gaming, right? They were like, you guys can just buy all the shit. We're good.
Because they had that whole campaign about like, hey, everything's an Xbox, so we'll have our games everywhere, including PS5, which basically they killed any exclusives they could possibly ever have. Because they're like, yeah, we'll just have it everywhere.
Yeah, who cares anymore about you know what I mean?
Sony cares. Nintendo cares.
Nintendo cares. Nintendo needs to care because without the exclusivity,
I mean, they need it. That's their business model.
Yeah, I mean, their hardware is not that great.
But it doesn't matter. They have the games that people want to play. They have. Chris, just because me and you don't play Nintendo games, we're old and washed. But a lot of people do like Mario and Zelda still.
Right? Would they? Would they? But is there loyalty to Nintendo or to the franchise? Pokemon, Mario, or is it I'm a Nintendo fan? Am I a Zelda fan or am I a Nintendo fan? You know,
if those games, people play all three of those. I think they just kind of like just do the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna go with the Nintendo fanboys, or they would still, even if. So you're telling me if Legend of Zelda was available on all three consoles,
it would be better on modern console. Yeah, of course.
Well, a modern Nintendo console?
Modern, let's say, you know.
Nintendo just came out with consoles. They come out with consoles all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but modern. Switch 2 is going to be behind the next consoles in like
Switch 2 is going to be behind PlayStation 4. Like,
Switch 2 is not behind PlayStation.
No, it's not. But you know what I'm saying. they're always one generation behind.
Yeah, they're like
far as
off
like their hardware.
They don't even care about the generations. They just do their own thing. That's why it works
so
for
they
them.
need to have exclusivity. Like
Yeah.
Microsoft doesn't. Nobody was buying Xboxes because the hardware was better than PlayStation, you know?
Not anymore, but hey, I would argue 360. When 360 came out, they had good shit going on Xbox. They had the Halos, they had the Gears of War, they had better online multiplayer than PlayStation ever had for PS3. I mean, they had some games going on for them at that period of time.
I feel like Xbox in the 360 range was a real gamer. That was a real gamer console. I'll give you that.
I think 360 was better console than PS3. And I say that as someone who only plays on PlayStation.
I'd say that the console itself, probably the controller.
Sure, I'm not gonna talk about the controller or the red ring or any of that, but I think if you like, most people would say 360 is definitely a better console than PS3 at the time. And I think that's the only time you can say that.
I could probably agree.
I
think that PlayStation 4 is when Sony really kind of locked. PlayStation 3 was like their foray into that was them moving into the new.
They were fucking around a lot. PS.
Think about it. It was it was a weird time, dude. I mean, they were going between like disc and online stuff, like disc and digital.
Right.
So they were still putting like these giant, horrible disc drives in all of the PS3s.
Got the Blu-rays.
Yeah, they had Blu-ray shit, which like completely that technology isn't even used. They have Blu-ray players. I know people that own a PS3 as a Blu-ray player, not as, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
So it was a tough time for games.
Hey, they tried to recreate the magic because PS2 was a DVD player, and they're like, hey, people loved it. Let's do it again.
PS2 might be the best console ever made.
Value-wise, for sure. Game-wise, up there. Yeah,
I was about to say game-wise, that's probably why, because they still had a lot of IPs that were...
It was cheap. Dude, it was cheaper to buy a PS2 than a DVD player. It was just like...
PS2 was, what, $199, $299?
Yeah, I think it was $199.
It might have only been 200 bills.
Different times. I mean, listen, I know I've walked into a GameStop and bought a PS2 off the shelf because a game didn't work, you know? And But yeah,
it cost me
we
like
live in a time
$70.
where we can have Halo on PlayStation now, which, you know, you say that sentence 10 years ago, that's not possible, but here we are.
So would you play this game without co-op?
No.
Okay. So is that the is that what you need? Does that answer our question?
Yeah.
What do you need to play this? You know,
I need co-op to even think about it. Yeah.
I played all of the Halos in co-op, 1, 2, and 3. I didn't play any after that. I think that they did have another one, but
dude,
I think they may have had more than one.
They had a lot of Halos.
That and Gears of War was the other Xbox exclusive that I kind of lost track of. I played the original trilogy, and then once it went, 4 or 5, so I was like, yeah, sounds good.
Like most people, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they ran out of story, you know? That's like when you're watching a show and it's got 6 seasons and they finish the 6th season and then they're all done, and a year and a half later, they're like, okay, we're going to make a season 7. And you're like, no, don't do that.
Right.
It's all new writers, or the writers are completely, bankrupt of ideas, and you're getting nonsense. Sometimes you just got to let it exist the way it is.
They had Gears of War also on PlayStation. Did you know that?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it with my
like that remake thing.
Yeah, it was fine. The game mechanically didn't feel very good. I wonder if they're going to polish up the mechanics.
Yeah, I think they have to, right?
You don't realize how reliant you are on a lot of modern features. Like I'm calling it auto aim, but it's like an aim assist that is naturally in games. Like, and you don't realize it. But like as your cursor, drags across an enemy or something, like there's minute things that they add in there to create better game feel things. Like it slows down slightly whenever it's on a target. So even if you're whipping across, you'll have a bigger window of shooting that target. It's stuff like that you don't realize are like kind of big problems until you're playing like a game that's literally 15 years old. And you're like, God damn, I'm missing everything. And I'm shooting, like, you know what I mean? The recoil is too hot, all that.
Yeah, it's tough to go back to, for sure.
So I'm hoping that Halo will maybe address some of that. But then again, Halo also didn't have the same problems that Gears would have. Gears was a cover shooter, and that's where I noticed a lot of the issues with like the blind firing over cover and getting into cover. A lot of those mechanics.
Yeah.
The stickiness was weird. Halo didn't have any of that shit, so they might not even have any of those challenges to begin with.
I have a final question before we start wrapping for you.
Okay.
What if they remade another Xbox 360 exclusive? One of your favorites, actually. Infinite Undiscovery. Would you play that game?
Well, that was a single player, no co-op, JRPG.
Correct.
With a story that I'm still not even quite sure I understand. And mechanics that did not evolve in the entire game.
That sounds pretty good.
I'm wondering what
that
they
game.
would have. I really disliked that game.
Yeah, you hated
That felt like a bait and that was a bait and switch. That was a good old fashioned. They were like, they were selling me like real
it was a
charlatan
game
shit.
made for you. They're like, hey, Tri-Ace is making a new RPG. Get ready.
There's gonna be shit everywhere. You have a flute that you play, and already I should have known. There were so many red flags. Like your character is a flautist, and I'm like, I don't know what a flautist is. Oh, it's a flute player. Oh, okay. That's what he does. All right. Yeah.
Do you remember his name
play
at
the
all?
flute in it. Shit.
Starts with C, if that helps.
Actually, I was gonna say it was Kane, but it's not Kane.
No, Capel.
Okay, I would not have gotten there. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, he did have a stupid ass name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucked. And then the only I can't believe I'm looking. It's got a 68 on Metacritic. That's not cool.
That's not good. Dude,
That's not bad.
Dude, to get 68 average on Metacritic, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Studios these days are not happy if they even get like 80. So,
and I mean, it had like the composer was the guy who does all the Tales of series, like Motoi Sakuraba. He's like the best in the game. Like you'll know if you're playing a game that he's writing on. And it wasn't even that good. Like the soundtrack wasn't good. It was Tri-Ace. Like the graphics weren't very good.
Right.
You know, I came from playing Star Ocean 3 till the end of time that had like bonus dungeons on top of bonus dungeons, like so all sorts of post-game content that was like insane. You're talking like 30 hours of post-game shit. And Infinite Undiscovery where like you had to play your flute near a wall and the wall might open up and there would be a chest that would have some disposable item in it. That was literally like the discover all the things. We stopped doing that. Like we just stopped even wasting the time to like sit there and stop your character and go through the animation of playing a flute. Nope. So if that game came out, I would play it entirely. I would play it start to finish.
Perfect.
And I would hope that it would be the laziest shit. I'm hoping that they would just call it an HD remaster, an HD filter. So I can
just
get
like
the exact.
Yep.
I want the exact experience that I had.
It's crazy that this game is locked on 360. Like it never came out anywhere else.
Why would they?
Listen,
I would love to know more about what happened there. I mean, but then again, the whole studio just went off the rails at that point.
Yeah. Like
Tri-Ace was just really something. They lost their best guys. I don't know what happened, but the same guys who did all the content for Radiata Stories and Star Ocean, The Last Hope, and Lost Odyssey and Magna Carta were not the people who made Star Ocean, Integrity and whatever, and Infinite Undiscovery. Yeah, I just Resonance of Fate.
Not a banger.
It felt like two different teams completely.
Yeah.
With the same engine. Like they had, you know what I mean? Like somebody got fired from the job and you're the new guy. And they're like, yeah, here's what they kind of were doing. You just work with that. And they're like working in the engine. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, wow, look at that. I can make walls disappear if I... yeah, we'll use that mechanic. That seems cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's back in the time where Xbox was still trying to like, hey, maybe we can get Japan on board and
maybe we can get some JRPG. Yeah, let's corner the JRPG market because that's a real money maker. People dump money on RPGs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that I think that is all the news that we have for the week.
That's all I got.
Okay, so I guess you want to hit him with the normal tag outs, the sponsor reads and all that. What's the episode brought to us today by?
I think this joke will have to be retired at some point because nothing will change. There is no sponsors.
What if we create a sponsor? Could it be Steam controller?
We can sponsor
PS5?
ourselves. Yes, we can start a Patreon and just sign up ourselves and read our names as the patrons. Thanks for the support coming from Chris and
Chris
Paul.
and Paul.
Wow.
So anyway, we got Chris and Paul here, and we're gonna.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I can convince some people. It'll be like Chris's mom. 1248. It's gonna be like some random username. Yeah, Chris's mom was already taken by our first hater on the. It's just Chris's mom
was me.
commenting.
I took it. I just forgot the password.
Yeah, it's just somebody with my mom's username, just commenting how much she hates the podcast.
It's getting worse each week. Oh,
sorry, mom.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Chris, I did say I had one last question with Infinite Undiscovery, but I do have actually a last question for you. What can we look forward to you playing for next week? I'll let you ponder.
I could ask you the same thing because I
have
know
to finish Pragmata. Like I'm finishing Pragmata. That's my assignment.
How are you gonna get that plat in Warriors Abyss? By the way, I looked at that. You're gonna have to play that game.
That game. The problem is each run takes 1 hour.
Yep.
And you have to do it with 20 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I feel like wasting 20 hours of my life?
You want
TBD.
that plat? I have it on. It's recorded.
I know.
I can play it back for you.
You have it, and that bothers me. So there is a good chance I will do it, but I'm not gonna do it by next week. I can promise you.
Was there something that you were hoping that I was gonna lean into?
Well, I thought you were gonna check out Nine Souls, but I already played that game and it sucks. So
I could put more time into it if you think that would be a valid use.
You should play what you want, I guess. We'll find out next week what Chris comes up with.
I'll tell you what. I'll come back next week with one of two things. I will either have completed all of the base game of Hades 2.
Okay.
Meaning that I will have defeated Kronos, Titan, and woken up asshole. Hypnos.
You still haven't woken him up, yeah? Okay. All right.
I don't know where that whatever the thing is. I need like soot or something. I assume that was just going to be kind of given to me. Like it's not a farmable item.
Right.
So
it's probably a story block.
Yeah, it's probably a story item. So I will either have those three things done, or I will have tripled my time. I think I had 3 hours in Nine Souls. I will have tripled my time.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's what you guys have to look forward to next week.
All right.
In the next episode of Scrubcast.